Coming in as an 18-year-old freshman, there's a certain skill set that I feel we don't have. And this includes everything that is most important for finding a job or finding an internship.
Going in, I definitely didn't think necessarily it was super important at the time. I was only 19 years old and wasn't really thinking about graduating.
When you're just growing up, you think you could be this, you could be that, because you haven't really yet rediscovered yourself.
I think I just wasn't really worried about it. I was just enjoying the variety of classes that I had here.
I think you kind of just have this mindset that you're going to go to college for 4 years, get a great education, and then get a job afterwards.
I was going to go to school, I was going to find a job. I had no clue of how to apply to a job, how to get my resume started.
I had no idea when it came down to internships and jobs what the process looked like.
I had never written a resume.
One of my close friends last year was a senior, and it was a big wake-up call. I realized that I would be in his shoes the following year.
Once sophomore year hit, that's when I really realized I had to make good decisions now.
My sophomore year, I realized I needed to get an internship.
Somebody suggested taking a career counseling course.
Before college career classes began, my first kind of thought was, oh God, this is going to be brutal.
Kind of had my mindset that oh, this isn't really going to help me.
I did have some hesitations.
There are going to be a bunch of seniors who've been in school for 3 years and know exactly what they want to do.
I wasn't specifically ready to even think about careers at that time.
I had no idea really what to expect, but ended up getting a very large dose of knowledge that I didn't have before.
A lot of the tools that we used in the class revolved around figuring out who you were. We took a lot of tests to help identify the kind of people we are and what kind of careers would suit us best.
LinkedIn was the first tool that we got introduced to. I was a varsity cheerleader, and I never thought that would be relevant to a job search, but I put that on my LinkedIn profile to show that I had skills of knowing how to represent a brand.
I didn't have a LinkedIn profile until that class. That's when I started doing my first informational interviews. When I did my first informational interview, that person recommended me for someone else, who then we connected, and that's where my networking began.
Before the class, I knew what networking was, but I didn't realize that I, as a college student, would be able to leverage networking. And we did it in a way that wasn't overwhelming.
I really, really enjoyed being able to go shadow a school counselor here in town, being able to go and shadow her and just see the real life experience of the things that I was passionate about. It was really, really cool for me. I'd really love to get my master's in social work.
When you think about the typical Wake Forest student, so involved in so many different things, having classes with credits dedicated to finding internships or jobs really forces you to make it a priority.
If it wasn't for these classes, I wouldn't have landed my internship in 2015 in New York City.
Post going through the class, I've found myself getting my very first internship ever. That propelled me to look for my second one.
It's funny because I started this class not really realizing what network was, but now I landed this really awesome, cool opportunity in San Francisco at LinkedIn, which is going to allow me to help others network.
Being a senior now, I'm more than confident.
I really feel like Wake has prepared me, and these career classes have prepared me for what lies ahead.
My brothers go to UPenn, NYU, and Harvard. Wake Forest beats every single one.
When someone asks me what I'm going to do after graduation, it's not really as much of a dreaded question as it used to be.
I don't see it as scary at all anymore.